Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kectil YouTube channel. Today we have very special guest Anna, a dynamic professional with vast experience in marketing, finance, sustainability, consulting, and even more. And Anna is passionate about bridging the digital divide and ensuring equitable access to technology-driven education. And in this interview today, we will discuss why digital equity in education matters and explore practical solutions to make technology more accessible to students worldwide. So let's dive into this discussion today. And first of all, I want to ask you, Anna, could you tell us a bit more about yourself, about your background, what inspired you to your work, and what you're doing in your life?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate you. A little bit about me, honestly. I'm gonna start from like the beginning. I was born in Greece, and then me and my family moved here in 2012. I did not speak English. I'm a first generation immigrant, and I got my bachelor's in finance, and then I got a minor in psychology. Throughout the different careers that I had from finance, accounting, marketing, consulting, sustainability, I love learning. I think education is power, and I'm such a nerd. The more I learn, the better I grow and become a better person. Um, and something that really motivated me to get my MBA that I will be graduating this May, is just educating myself more, learning different strategies, learning different things on Excel, learning different things about the world, and how can we make it better? How can we make it a better, safe environment for everybody in different diversities, different races, and just for all humanity to be welcomed. And I'm just really excited to dive deeper, honestly, and help everybody within my community.
Thanks a lot. I just realized that we have a lot of common things because I also got MBA. I'm
Yay.
also a migrant. I'm from Ukraine, but living as a refugee in Lithuania, and
Wow, that's
also
awesome.
worked in all of this field that you mentioned.
That's
So I'm
awesome.
really glad that we have a really, such inspiring discussion today because we have a lot of common things. And I would really appreciate if you will share with our audience how did your journey lead you focus on digital equity in education, especially in this topic, in this field.
Yeah, that's a great question, and thank you for asking me that as well. Honestly, education is everywhere. No matter what field you're in, you will learn every day. And I feel like, as I said before, like knowledge is power. You need to get as much information as you can, because our brain is like a sponge. The more information we get, the more we grow, the more mature we get, and the more we can help everybody, family, friends, partners, and everybody around us. And something about education, I pretty much knew my boss and we added each other on LinkedIn. And then after that, she had like an internship, and I was like, oh, I would love to like be community and educational outreach. So I started meeting with her. We started doing different partnerships, meeting with different groups, and I started really diving deeper and finding another passion of mine, which is marketing and education combined. And I just love digital equity in education and digital marketing because I think like with AI, education and different platforms that exist and that WebCity has created could make everybody's life easier, not even people with disabilities or anybody within different ages. It could learn and could benefit honestly, and it's so effective that could help everybody. It's kind of like AI in a way. Like we help each other and just kind of see how can we make education less stressful for everybody.
Yeah, that's really important things that you mentioned. And, it would be really great to discuss with you about what does digital equity in education means to you. What does it means overall? Yeah, because not all of the people, even I think not all of our viewers today will understand in the proper way what it is. So let's make clearance in this term to understand about what we're going to discuss today. Could you please share your thoughts or anything else additionally?
Yeah, of course. So digital equity in education means the world to me. I really think is like making sure, like ensuring all students have equal access to technology, internet connection, digital resources, and then making sure, like, no matter what their social economic background is, making sure that we can support their learning and academic success within different grades, from elementary to college to work to an MBA to a PhD, and even going further. Um, I really think digital equity is making sure how can we be as effective and making education as easy and more adaptable for everybody.
Yeah, because we have a lot of countries, even more countries in the world. They are like third countries, but I don't like this word that they people like some of the people mention such countries like third countries because it is dividing people, it is dividing nations when we need to be together in everything that we would like to achieve for us, for our children in the future. And digitalization, it is really important things everywhere in each field that we are working, and in the each challenge that we are facing in our lives, especially in 21st century. And let's quickly discuss why is digital equity important for students, especially in underprivileged communities. And let's mention just three top things why it's really important.
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, Honestly, it's really important no matter who the student is, where they're located, and where they came from. But specifically for underprivileged backgrounds, we have to support our learning because they are behind, not because they chose to, because of family issues or the location that they're in, and it's unfair because we have to rise by lifting others and we have to help each other out. So one reason why this is really important to help the underprivileged or different socioeconomic backgrounds is that we need to make sure all of us are in the same page, all of us are in the same boat, and that we're gonna grow and we're gonna help them when they need it more. Because down the road, we will need to help each other out. So I really think it's a community thing, making sure we help each other out. Um, Another reason why it's really important is because you have to put yourself in their shoes. Um, some other people are privileged, other people don't have it as easy as others have it. So if you could put yourself in their shoes and be like, oh, okay, I understand some underprivileged communities have a lot of issues going on with politics, wars, um, food scarcity, racism, and sexism, and I could go on, but I really think is making sure that they feel welcomed and they feel safe. It's another reason why I love what I do, and I will continue to do it. And the last reason why this is very important and it means the world to me is that I didn't have it either. I am not a wealthy individual. I came from nothing and I'm slowly building up my wealth by going to school and educating myself and being an accountant, doing consulting, doing marketing. And you have to start somewhere. So I want to be a role model to everybody else that needs help. And I hope one day I could change the world by little baby steps at a time.
That's, definitely you will change the world.
Thank you.
Definitely, I know that, and I feel that you will change the world. And yeah, digitalization in education and equal, access to digital items, internet, and other things. It's really, really important because we're living in the world when we have where we have ChatGPT, where you can get answer to all of the questions, to pass all of the exams just using ChatGPT. And even those things are bringing us a lot of challenges. But about artificial intelligence, we will discuss a bit later. And before, I also want to ask you about, just general challenges. What are some of the biggest challenges in achieving digital equity in education are, and how does the lack of access to technology impact students' learning opportunities?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. Thank you for asking me that. I really think it comes down to our politics. It comes down to grants. It comes down to community, and you could promote it as much as you can. But I think it's a biggest challenge that we have to achieve digital equity in education and just kind of like prove it to the world, like, hey, this is an amazing tool that will benefit everybody. And try not to make it as we're trying to sell something. We try to promote something that's gonna make your life easier, faster, more productive, because time is money. Um, so it's it's very difficult to make sure whoever your target audience is or whoever you're speaking to let them know that, hey, this is a powerful tool. This is a toolkit that will make your life more efficient. And it's very challenging because it's the funding, it's making sure you could get the ball rolling as fast as you can. But we're not going to give up because we're going to get rejected, we're going to get declined, we're going to get multiple no's, but down the road, that one yes will make the world better. And we're slowly doing that by doing networking, we're doing podcasting, we're doing YouTube videos, and all that stuff is it's the right things we're doing to the right direction. So I'm excited. Another challenge is just another lesson for another day to grow and be better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the important thing for getting equity, even in just in the education, equity education, even without digitalization and digital opportunities, any, it comes from government, it comes from policymakers, it comes from strategy the countries using in their education, education part for the people. And here, I think that it is one of the biggest challenge for every community. It is how can governments and policymakers contribute to education, to digital equity, because I'm from Ukraine and I remember the time when I just went to school, and that was the period of the years when all of the children starting to get their phones, first laptops, computers, when just video games started to growing around the world. And my first laptop I got, I believe, I guess it was 8 year of study at school. And I remember for me at that age it was really hard to learn everything and use PowerPoint, Excels for studying, for getting new knowledge. And it was a big challenge for me. And here I want to discuss with you about this challenge, about what are some of the most effective strategies to close the digital divide in education we can bring to communities, and how can governments, policymakers, businesses, private any organization contribute to digital equity and help students, help children, any people just to get this access to big opportunities.
Yeah, that's a great question. And thank you for letting me know about the computer as well, because I had the same thing. Like, I did not get my phone or my first computer till I was like maybe in high school.
Yeah,
So I so I understand. I always had like a little Chromebook, whatever the library would give me, whatever we had within the school funding that could provide me during class. But it also means money and having the wealth to purchase a computer or whatever you need to get schoolwork done. So it just kind of going back to equity in education. And like, for example, like let's say like in a classroom, equity could really provide more tutoring. And we could also offer different assisting technologies, such as WebQuity, such as using a little bit of AI, or even making sure our low-income families have access to school meals, internet connectivity, or even remote learning, different schedules that could fit within everybody. And another goal is to pretty much create like a fair and inclusive learning environment where every student will be able to achieve. They will be able to get the chance to thrive within an educational school. And honestly, if you think about it, like all the resources that we have and how we can bring more resources, we just have to recognize that every student faces different challenges and different barriers. And we just have to tailor how to support them in order to get the same outcome down the road. And without equity in education and without helping each other, we will be stuck, you know? So all the tools and everything that's going on around the world, we could use it as a lesson. We could use it as a powerful motivation thing to take the next step and be like, okay, this is what we have to do. And little by little, day by day, things will get better, things will improve. And when we're going to be looking back in our past, everybody's going to be like, oh, wow, we learned a lot of things. A lot of things have happened in life, but we will be able to grow from it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even, I was listening to you and thinking about the Ukrainian situation, the environment where I grown, and community where took first steps in digitalization and my first education. I guess I got 2 degrees already, but yeah, I still learning. I'm still getting some courses and improving some of my skills. But by the way, the important thing. That I learned during my professional practice, working with different projects. I understood that a lot of things impact not, by the opportunity for the people that sometimes organizations, NGOs, businesses, governments give to the people, but also of the mentality of this community. Why I'm talking about that? Because, for example, if we compare two countries with different mentalities, understanding for what they are going to use these skills, this digital opportunity that they got, it will be completely different ways. Of course, some of them will learn lessons quicker than others, and for those communities, for each communities, we need to use different strategy for getting more effective implementation of the digitalization of education. Even in Ukraine, we're spending over than 30 years already of our independence just for getting this digitalization in our education. And even now, we're still, learning with our people those opportunities that we're getting. Some of the things we're getting thankful grants, some of the private businessmen and other things. But by the way, everything comes from the higher things. I mean, from the governments. If we have correct rules helping our students to getting these equal opportunities, it will be easier for them to understand other things that goes around the world. For example, once I was studying in Ukraine, yeah, at university, we had opportunities, go to the library using some computers and doing what we need to do for our classes. But at the time, I even had my laptop because my laptop was broken. So during first half of the year of studying, I was using just my phone for everything that I need to prepare for essays, for any presentation, for everything. And at my university, there wasn't any, classes that was putting some computers that students can go and use it for the education. And once I got opportunity to go to the exchange program abroad at university in Lithuania, there was huge library with a lot of laptops, with a lot of opportunities for getting this equal education. Even if you don't have a smartphone, even if you don't have your laptop or anything else that you need, but there's equal opportunity that came from the regulation of government. So I think that it is like great examples how it works in my understanding of this of this problem of this cases, and maybe you have some also examples that you can share of some successful initiatives for school or anything else that has improved digital equity in education. How do you see it? How it's work in real world? Because I just shared from my example.
Yeah, no, thank you for your examples. And I really love the breakdown and just diving deeper into different cultures, different worlds that everybody live in, and politics and government play such a major role, how things are gonna be moving and how the pathway is looking down the road. So thank you so much again for that. That was incredible. It's really good to learn from others. And then some examples that I have, honestly, something I would like to focus on right now will be like just expanding access to technology and internet. Something that we have done, it's pretty much partner with like local community schools or making sure we do different demos and videos and showing others like, hey, after school, when you have chess club or you have any type of opportunities in the library, sometimes we would just provide one-on-one programs. And also, we would just do different demos, as I said before, to show that, hey, this is how we can ensure digital literacy and how can we develop your skills. And another great example that we did, I've been outreaching, cold calling, emailing different professors in kindergarten, different levels of educational schools and locations within Connecticut in the United States. And I pretty much just reach out to them and say, hey, I have WebQuity, for example. This will benefit you very much if you give me like 5 to 10 minutes of your time to talk about this and just give them different flexible learning modules and models that could be really easy. It could be done in person, it could be done online, where you could switch however you want to be educated, and just having like a digital plugin within Google, Bing, or Yahoo, or Safari, whatever people use to look up things, it, it will really be so helpful. It has such a diverse learning materials that will
Mhm.
represent different cultures and perspectives, and it will fit in within your day-to-day tasks and life and work.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm really interested to discuss it, with you about something that let's just think together. What are some of low cost or innovative solution we can even bring for schools and students that facing really digital access barriers? If we talk, for example, about African countries, about Afghanistan, for example, about Myanmar, about the countries that facing huge economic crisis of war or war that we have right now in in different countries around the world, unfortunately. So maybe
Right. Yeah.
you have some ideas about that, how it could be.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And that's a tough question, honestly, because the world is full of surprises and you
Yeah.
never know. But thank you for being vulnerable and opening up and just bringing that to the table because it's a lot. It's a lot to digest and dive deeper into. Um, but a few things that I think that could be extremely beneficial to everybody is community Wi-Fi initiatives. So an example could be pretty much like schools partnering with local businesses, libraries, or cafeterias, anywhere that we could pretty much use like a network, like a Wi-Fi thing that could provide internet coverage for low-income communities. So it could
Mhm.
be like a meeting once a month or whenever they have time after school or during school to go to that location and make sure that they have the Wi-Fi, the computers, and everything needed. That could be something that could be really helpful. And also another thing that I thought about, like an offline learning solution because depending with everything going on, I think something that could be really helpful is like preloading educational content. So something that could help is like download everything before or making sure the access could be shared by different Wi-Fi's from somebody else or things could be printed. We can go a little more like old-fashioned and find different ways that we could get a book, for example, in the library, copy it, print it out so we can share it. Or another thing that's even helpful and really beneficial, reach out to your nonprofits, reach out to church, reach out to your library, reach out to your magnet schools. I really think like affordable and repurposed technology could really make a change. And specifically nonprofits, like people donate refurbished laptops, tablets to students in need. There's so many grants and so many programs, but people just don't promote it. People don't have the necessarily tools that they need. But I really think it's within community, spreading the word, being like, hey, I have a few people, few kids that need a tablet, a computer, some pencils, and things like that. And even foundations, like being in the finance and accounting side of things, seeing like philanthropical grants, and people want tax write-offs. Like we could reach out from wealthy individuals to your community, to your family, to your friends, and kind of see how can we best support each other, you know? And one
Yeah.
last thing before I turn it on you, I think something that could be really helpful is word of mouth. Spread the word. Use your platforms, use your teachers, use your radio, your messages, your TikTok, your social media, your news, whoever you could speak to and raise awareness. That would deliver more success down the road. I think communication is the key within a relationship, within education, with any field, particularly.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And even motivation and desire of the person, it's really important for getting those opportunities. And you really did great mentions of TikTok and social medias because you remind me about one blogger, one student, blogger from Kazakhstan on TikTok, who's doing, who is really from the poor family, who's living in the village, who doesn't have a lot of opportunities, even great smartphone, great access to the internet always, all opportunities for just, general living and studying. But he is so passionate and he is even recording videos, just, short blog about how he is trying to getting better life, how he's trying to help his parents, his family, and learning and even dream about Harvard and other, top universities that we have in this world. And it's really passionate, and you see that even such, people, they are really doing great things. They are don't afraid to show for what they are working, to what they are believing, and they just showing life like it is, because we have right now in the social media a lot of lies. Yeah, let's be honest. There are a lot of lies, luxury lives, and everyone just thinking, okay, I cannot record blog, I cannot speak about anything because I don't have iPhone, I don't have MacBook, I don't have BMW, Audi, or any other great cars. I don't live in Dubai. I don't have money for traveling, and so on and so forth. But to be honest, social media, it is great network. Even in social media you can get additional money for doing great content. Yeah, if you're sharing some interesting things, even if you're sharing the real life, like as it is, right? And
Yeah.
we need to talk about that with young people, especially from the developing countries, because they are mostly seeing luxury life on social media. In Ukraine, we have the same things. All young people, they wanna show on social medias they are, the best side of their lives. They are taking credits, they are taking some loans and other things for just buying iPhone and showing it on Instagram, on TikTok. But they are not investing in their education and digital access to the opportunity. And here's also the important thing for discussing, especially for the developing countries: how can teachers and educators support those students who lack access to digital tools, especially it even could be the internet, right? And how they can support such students. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that's a great question, honestly. And I think like teachers specifically have such an important, very difficult job because they're more than teachers. They're mothers, they're fathers, they're the counselors, they're providers, they're everything, in my opinion. And I think teachers deserve more, honestly. And just thinking of that question is like, how can we make sure teachers can pretty much provide and increase as much of those people that are lacking with digital tools. I really think it comes down to teachers pretty much printing out assignments, worksheets, having all the reading materials ready to go, and just communication. If a student at home doesn't have Wi-Fi or they're going through harsh times with family and friends, um, it will be great within the school community to be like, okay, this is what's going on. Let's make sure we could provide and change one person's time, one person's life at a time. And just by communicating, saying, okay, I don't have Wi-Fi at home. Would you be able to print this out for me? Or can you give me the reading materials in different forms so it doesn't have to be
Mhm.
on a computer or on a phone? That could be something that's really beneficial. And also there's other things that I have seen that advocating for device and internet access. Sometimes most of the educational government and just schools in general could help families apply for low cost internet programs from different service providers that could help you with that. And on top of that, it could be different safe Wi-Fi hotspots for students. I have seen the government even showing up and providing them with 1 year free Wi-Fi or even a loaner laptop or tablets that they could
Yeah.
have. That could be something that could be really helpful. And another thing that just crosses my mind is pretty much like organize like a community support group, like a meeting. So like pretty much encourage like device sharing programs among families. Like maybe everybody after class could meet somewhere they could have that, or seeking donations, anything refurbished, anything from, as we said before, from different businesses, nonprofits, or even different learning hubs, um, different ways of community centers that could help students access digital resources, because the teachers could do only so much, but sometimes they don't know what the student is going through if they don't open up. So having some type of survey or kind of understanding how the student arrives out to school and understanding if they're okay. It's more than you have to understand the student, what they're going through first, and build a relationship, a community within the student and your class, because the teachers are doing so much too. But leadership, literacy, and creative, like a space of community, it takes a lot of organization and communication.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the thing is that all the time that you spoke about teachers, I was comparing with Ukrainian teachers because I'm mostly familiar with those. I don't know about teachers at the schools in other countries, but in Ukraine, so what we have the situation right now. Once I was studying at school a lot of years ago. Mostly our teachers were like old generation of the teachers. And right now, I saw some teachers that doing TikTok page and social media, especially for their students and for the pupils, and they are sharing new approaches of the, you know, studying them, teaching them, sorry, for teaching them and new approaches of this equally in the class. Yeah, it's really important. But the thing is that teachers of the old generation, especially I'm speaking from my side, yeah, they are not ready to go to this equalization, like equal things
Yeah.
for students in the class. They are not ready even to use technology and motivate students to study and getting more skills that they can use in their futures for their careers. But young generation of teachers, they are they understanding it everything and they're thinking everything in completely different way. But the other challenge here, all generation of the teachers, they don't want to leave their places at schools and open those opportunities for teaching for other young generation of teachers. So it's conflict sides between them we have in our countries, and a lot of young generation of teachers, they are sharing this on their social medias, and they are even sharing those that, okay, I am teacher, but I am also person. I can go to dance, I can share my life in the social medias and so on and so forth. And I teach students in the way that their parents just expect these things. But again, it has comes from the people. It's come from the communities, as you said. Yeah, and they're really deep topic of conversation, and we talk a lot about them. But yeah, let's move on to another part of our discussion. I really want to discuss with you about the technology, and how do you see technology shaping the future of education, and how can artificial intelligence contribute to digital equity even?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think AI can really contribute to digital equity by making things a bit more faster. Um, but I don't think AI would change the world to a better place. Because AI, if you think about it, it doesn't have the emotions, the feelings, like how a human being would interact. Yes, it will make things a bit easier, and it would cut some cost, so that could help larger pretty much industries or different companies, but I don't think equity will be met and done by using AI. But a way that could be contributed is making sure like AI could be helpful for people like me. Like I'm an introvert. I like getting my work done by myself and using AI sometimes rather than going to ask my boss a question or anybody else a question could make you start thinking a little bit more, like being more self-efficient and working more with yourself rather than going out and reaching to somebody else. I think that's something that AI has helped a lot. And it's timing. It's kind of like helping a lot to think different perspectives because you could only think so much, but AI has this nice structure that breaks things down so well. And it could be beneficial and it could help you learn, you know, it's a free tool for now that you could use, and then just slowly expand if you would like. But I, I'm, I'm 50-50 with AI. Like I like it, but I don't love it. And I think we need a bit more regulation for AI to help us a bit more with digital equity to make sure all the changes and we could embrace small different steps as this new tool that's coming in can help our teachers, our community, our school, and just building confidence within yourself and just continuing learning.
Yeah. From one side, I agree with you, but I have a bit opposite point of view on that, because the thing is, from my side, that the main thing that we need to get to know, it is critical thinking. If we have critical thinking, if we got necessary skills at schools, thankful our parents, our families, thankful ourselves even, and our desire to learn, our motivation, we will use artificial intelligence in the way that will, improve our efficiency, our lives. And for me, I don't know, artificial intelligence for today, it is friend, it is psychologist, it is, cooker, it is helper in everything. Yeah, I even understand
Right.
how can I use this tool for improving everything that I'm doing. For, sometimes I'm a lazy person. That's true. Every one of every one of us is a lazy person sometimes. But yeah, if we have critical thinking, if we know for what we are using those tools, then we can use it even for improving everything around us, for bringing even some startups that will make our lives easier. So again, we can discuss about that a lot. About artificial intelligence, because we have different opinions. All people have different opinions, and all people use it in the different ways. Some of them using for cheating, some of them using for education, some of them using for improving their lives. But as overall, it is really great technology that we have right now. But again, we need to learn how to use it, but not how to teaching even with ourselves, right? So discussing about the technologies, what do you think? What skills the students need to thrive in a digital first world?
Yeah, honestly, some skills that people need or students specifically just to thrive in a digital first world is play with the tools that you have. be really curious, and just expand your learning. I really think students just need to dive deep, and being uncomfortable will make you grow, will make you become a better leader down the road, will make you become a better student down the road. Because you have to push yourself. You have to go through those obstacles and use it as a game. Some people think of it as a video game. How can I go to the next level and use this to help me down the road become a better person, achieve the goals that I have, pass the class, pass the quiz, the test, or the presentation, or whatever you have to do in class or for the assignment, or even participation. I really think students could really thrive by just kind of diving in and just exploring, playing around with it and understanding things that they like or things that they don't like, and how can they change it or fix it down the road. And that's critical thinking. That's thinking outside of the box. And students specifically nowadays, their creativity could really be decreasing with everything that's going on around the world, and things are not given to them. So I think being creative as much as you can, and think of it as a puzzle, like how can I solve this, how can I make this work for me, for whatever obstacle, whatever thing I need to fix and finish. I think that was great if they think of it as, hey, I could thrive and I will thrive. We need to be confident, and we just need to kind of like throw ourselves out there in the world and be like, okay, let's see how it looks and how can we go about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And today's our interview, watching a lot of young leaders, and they are doing, a lot of actions to bringing more opportunities, more impact to their communities. And from your experience, from your point of view, how can young leaders and students become advocates for digital equity in their communities? What they can do, what kind of actions they can do for, achieving this?
Yeah, that has to be my favorite question so far, honestly. And I love this because I think students is the next generation of successful individuals down the road. That's the community, that's the generation that is gonna make the world a better place. And having that hope, I really think it comes down to raising awareness and educating each other. So students can pretty much start talking to parents, start talking to teachers about digital access, using any type of social media platform that they see. Even go professors or parents go to different community events, raise awareness, like speak to the school board meetings and ask questions. Become curious about the policies and what's going on. Or even another thing that's incredible, like how can we partner with local organizations, collaborate with different companies, ask for help when you need it? Because you don't know who can help you with it. I don't think you need to be ashamed to ask for help when you're going through tough times. And something that students down the road will be really beneficial is advocate for policy change. Really demand better internet access, better, more funding for schools, more technology that can help them. And if that's something that can happen overnight, they could even create like a student-led support group, like a peer mentorship, like a role model situation thing where we could help each other out, or even volunteer for tutoring and teach old-fashioned teachers or younger students or anybody that wants to navigate technology and improve. That could be something that could be really helpful as well. And one last point that I would like to make, that's really important and it means a lot to me. It's fundraise and distribute resources. I don't think we need to be greedy and selfish. I really think as a community for everybody to rise, we're all humans. We all have our own bias and we go through tough times, but we have to organize community fundraisers. We have to work within businesses. We have to promote what we care about because we need to make a change. If it's not going to happen now, our young leaders and students can drive the real change and help bridge the digital divide with our communities, and digital equity initiatives and just helping each other out would create a better place.
Yeah, we should be more proactive than active
Yes,
sometimes. Yeah, that's true.
exactly.
That's true. And dear leaders, don't afraid to ask for the questions. Don't afraid to put your comments below this video and ask what you think, what you want to get more for bringing this digital equity in education in your country, please don't afraid to share what you need with the other peoples, because once you share it, it is more chances to get those things that you need than just sitting silent, right? And right now we are moving to my favorite part of discussion, because as we're doing youtube video for YouTube videos for young leaders around the world, and a lot of young people after our videos on YouTube channel, they're getting more inspired, more motivation, learning a lot of interesting things, and texting us about new topics that they wanna get from us. So here's our favorite part of discussion. What advice would you give to young leaders who want to make a positive impact in education in their communities? And what is one lesson you learned in your career that you think is crucial for young professionals, for young leaders?
Wow, wow, wow. That's a big question, but that's really motivational. So thank you for that once again. Starting with the advice to young leaders that really want to make a positive impact in education specifically, I will make sure to make them think outside of the box. Just observe, just kind of see how things are going. Like identify the gaps and needs. Talk to your students, talk to your teachers, talk to your parents, and understand the challenges of your community. That's the first step that you would take to be like, okay, and now that we focus on the real issues like digital equity or Wi-Fi or mental health or access to equality learning, then you could get the ball rolling and start having small conversation. Having just even a small, but not have a small conversation and think big ahead and just begin with simple initiatives, pretty much awareness campaigns, study groups, making sure you talk to everybody else, have some goals, some type of agenda, and be like, hey, this is the 5 points that I want to bring to my teacher, to the history class, to the math class. And throughout that, you will start to leverage technology. Technology is going to be the tool, but after you have the goals, after you've been comfortable speaking up, how can we build that strong network? Get your team around you, get your students around you, your friends. And that's what's going to lead you to get more support, more funding, and more podcasts and more advocacy, and more people will see you grow and change. And one last thing that I really think is very beneficial for everybody to do is empower others. Create a lasting impact that will never go away. And inspire fellow students. Join your mission, vision, values. Change happens faster as a team. You rise by lifting others and making those initiatives sustainable. I think that's something that people forget. And sustainability within education is something that needs to continue growing and moving on. So I would say is talk to each other, make sure you use your tools that you have, and push for change. Push to become better because you will thank yourself in the long run. And for the other question that you have, like one lesson that I've learned in the career that I think is really crucial for young professionals. Um, wow, the lessons we learn every day is crazy, honestly. But something that I learned is stop being quiet. Stop just sitting there and just observing. I'm such an observer, and it's beneficial, but sometimes step out of your comfort zone in order to realize what you're missing out. And then you will thank yourself in the long run. Um, that's something that has taught me so much. And I wish I knew it earlier. I realized that when I was on my MBA and I'm only 25, that's when I realized it. So sometimes you have to be like okay with discomfort. Throw yourself out there. What's gonna happen? The worst comes to worst. They say no or they think you're wrong, and that's it. But just push yourself as much as you can and get your hands dirty. Like get in there and ask for the change. Don't be scared because then people are going to slowly follow you and think that you're the leader and look up to you. And that will make you feel better too. And that will rise everybody else within your community to be like, okay, if Anna can do it, Alexandra can do it, anybody else can do it, and just go with it, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. And we are doing a lot of things, you and me, you know, working, doing some projects, studying at the same time. And the curious question for me, what keeps you motivated in your mission and create more equitable world around you? Maybe you have some secrets how to keep yourself motivated.
That is one of the toughest questions that I thought we're not gonna get into. Um, and I'm guilty for it. Honestly, like something that motivates me is I want to be better than yesterday. That's a quote that I think about is how can I be better than yesterday? How can I grow even like a little baby step? And honestly, it's family, it's myself, is I want to have better for myself. I want to finish school and I want to have a goal. So something that I really do that really keeps me motivated, and it's silly, I have goals per month. So I will write 10 goals. Anna wants to go to the gym 4 times a month, or Anna wants to go get this, or I want to finish a book, or I want to join a YouTube video. And I really think we need to take it as a game. Think life as a game and be excited for the next level. Be excited for the next step that you're going to take. And that's what's going to motivate you. Find the thing that makes you want to wake up in the morning and keep going. And it's not easy. Some days I wake up and I don't want to do anything, but then I'm like, okay, I can't let my people down. I can't let myself down. And you have to keep pushing till you see the light after the tunnel. Because life is not easy, but it's not impossible. And we are brought to this place for a reason.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And finally, where can our audience follow your work and learn more about your journey, about you in digital equity and not only?
Yeah, honestly, I have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best thing ever. You guys can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I will even put my personal phone number and email, and you guys can reach out to me. I love learning from everybody. I love teaching and getting some time to connect. I'm open to any communication down the road because I'm really excited to help as much as I can, promote, ask any questions, answer anything, and provide in my best of my ability.
Thanks a lot. And Anna, thank you very, very much for sharing your insights today for today's interview, for today's discussions and expertise that you share with us today. Your passion for creating equal opportunity in education is truly inspiring. And to our audience, if you really enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. For us, it's also important because we are doing everything for you. We are doing those videos for you, doing those YouTube channel, and yeah, please don't shy to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And let's work together to bridge the digital divide and ensure that every student has access to a quality education no matter where they are. And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making a difference. Thank you very much one more time, Anna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you.